Ultralight, but with no trekking poles. Keep watching to find out more. Hey everyone, Steven here from My Life Outdoors. So, ultralight backpacking. You know, there's a time in my life when I would have never considered myself an ultralight backpacker, and I'm still not really sure that I am one, but I am always conscientious of how much weight I'm carrying in my pack, and I'm always trying to lower my base weight. That being said, I can't help but notice that almost all the ultralight backpacking loadouts you see on the internet won't work for me for one simple reason, and that is that I don't carry trekking poles. It seems like if you're gonna go ultralight, one of the easiest ways to do it is to get a trekking pole tent and save some weight. But if I'm being honest, I mean, that kind of seems like cheating to me. I feel like you ought to have to include any of the weight that you're carrying in your hands. Otherwise, I could just say that I'm going ultralight and carry my 5-pound tent around in my hands and say that I'm ultralight. But I realize that that's missing the point. I realize that it's not a competition, but it gets back to my point, which is what about all the rest of us that want to go ultralight but don't carry trekking poles? At least 25% of the people watching this channel don't carry trekking poles. And so, is it possible to go ultralight with a freestanding or a semi-freestanding tent? It is, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay, so since the tent is my main point, I'm going to start with that piece of gear. If you watch this channel regularly at all, then you know that I'm a fan of the Nemo Hornet Elite 2-person tent, mainly because it weighs right at 2 pounds with all the poles, the stakes, and the guideline. To my knowledge, this is the lightest weight freestanding tent on the market. And the thing that I love about it is that you can take it solo, you have plenty of room, and you still keep your base weight low. But you can also take 2 people, which it's cramped in there with 2 people, but I do it all the time. And then if you divide out the weight, you're only carrying 1 pound each for your shelter, which is really hard to beat. And also, I mean, wouldn't you just rather take a freestanding tent? I mean, they're so much easier to use and to set up than trekking pole tents. If I had my choice and I could still keep my base weight low, I want the freestanding tent. So I recently bought this pack specifically because I was wanting to drop my base weight. I've had ultralight packs in the past, and honestly I still have them, but I always prefer to carry my more traditional packs. So I bought this hoping to drop some weight in my big 3 while still loving my pack. This is the Gossamer Gear Mariposa 60. It weighs right at 2 pounds. I'm still not sure that I love this pack. I plan to do a review on it soon. Maybe I just don't like ultralight packs in general, but some of the things that I do love about this pack is that the back pad doubles as a seat, and it's got this long external pocket that is perfect for, that's right, you guessed it, my tent poles. So I recently thought about upgrading my sleeping pad to the Thermarest Ultralight, but I can't bring myself to do it because this is the Thermarest Neo Air. It's an older one before they started adding any of those extra labels like X-Lite or Ultralight, but it's basically an X-Lite. It weighs right at 12 ounces. I would like to save the 4 ounces for an Ultralight, but not for an additional $150. I pair that with my brand new Featherstone Moondance 25 backpacking quilt. This is a great ultralight quilt that just weighs 23 ounces and is very affordable. It is perfect for the high altitude summer hiking that is my favorite kind of hiking. I've got a full review on this that I will link in the description below. Cook set. So that's it for my big 3. Next I want to talk about my cook set. This is a Toaks 550 milliliter titanium pot. I like the 550 milliliter because it's still adequate for most boil in a bag meals, but it's also small enough that it'll double as my wife's coffee mug. I actually don't drink coffee. I don't like it. You can eviscerate me in the comments below. I like to pair this with my BRS 3000 titanium stove because it weighs less than 1 ounce, and this Go Bites Duo long-handled spoon fork combination because I actually have a really weird hatred for spoons. I want a long-handled fork. Oh, and I also have a mini Bic lighter. Altogether, this kit weighs less than 5 ounces. Okay, so if you saw my recent video on the Platypus Quick Draw, then you know that I am slowly falling in love with this filter. I think they did a really good job designing this thing, and it's ultra light. It weighs just 3.4 ounces, and that's with the 1 liter squeeze bottle. I also carry with it a 1 liter smart water bottle and one of these small 23 ounce smart water bottles that have the sports cap. Okay, so I want to talk about a few miscellaneous items. Specifically, I want to talk about bear spray. This is something else that is conspicuously missing from most ultralight loadouts. I don't hear anyone talking about it. I don't see it listed in anyone's lighter pack. And the only person I've even heard mention it is Justin from Justin Outdoors. And he omits it from his lighter pack because he says you, the audience, may not be hiking in bear country. And I just want to know, like, I love Justin, but where are you guys hiking that isn't in bear country? I mean, even Western Arkansas, East Oklahoma, and East Texas has bears in them. I mean, you may not run into one while you're hiking in those areas, but if you did, I would want to have bear spray. So to me, bear spray is something that needs to be included in an ultralight loadout. So I recently picked up this ultralight knife called the Backnife. It's basically just a little plastic thing that you carry a razor blade in. This thing only weighs 6.3 grams. I like to carry a knife because a lot of my lunch choices require a knife for cutting up things like summer sausage and cheese and stuff like that. And this thing, it's not the best, but it gets the job done. It's a little scary, especially when you're opening and closing it. I don't know, maybe I'll talk about this more in another video, but this is the Backnife, 6.3 grams. Hard to get a lighter weight knife than that. Paracord and a dry sack for hanging a bear bag. I actually put my quilt in this to keep it dry when I'm hiking, and then I use it to hang my food in at night to keep it away from bears. This is something else that goes along with a bear spray that I don't see listed in anyone's ultralight loadout. But if you're going to be hiking in bear country, then you need a way to keep your food away from bears. A few more miscellaneous things I want to talk about is the med kit. This is the Adventure Medical Kit's Ultralight 0.5 medical kit. I've actually never even opened it or used it, but it's ultra lightweight. My headlamp, nothing special about that, just a Petzl headlamp. I could probably go lighter on this, but I'm saving the money right now. My Spot Generation 3, I specifically picked this one because out of all my satellite communicators, this is the lightest at 115 grams. Toilet paper. I don't use a trowel or anything like that. I actually never have. Most of the places where I hike, the ground is soft enough that you can dig a cat hole with a stick or a rock or a tent stake if you have to, or really sometimes even just your shoe. A trash bag to keep everything else dry that doesn't go in the dry sack with my quilt. Last on my list are my extra clothes. I take this Melazana hoodie because I absolutely love it. I also have a Melazana beanie and the standard Frog Togs rain jacket because for the weight and the price, you really can't beat it. So there you have it, my freestanding tent with bear spray ultralight loadout. Altogether, the base weight for this loadout comes out right under 10 pounds. I'll drop a link to my lighter pack in the description below so that you can see everything with the weights included. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like it below. Also, drop me a comment. Really, even if you thought anything about this video, drop me a comment. Let me know what it is. I really do love receiving and responding to comments. So drop me one and let's talk. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram at My Life Outdoors. And as always, thanks for watching.